What is going on, guys? It's Travis with Handy Dandy Dalton, redoing the video here so that I can switch up a little bit on what I talk about first. Also, I was able to set up my new mic, and so I wanted to re-record it. I noticed in the previous video there was like pops and weird noises, and it was because I was using one of the headsets instead of an actual mic. So, going to go a little bougie on this, so I hope you like it. Today we're going to be talking about Handyman financials and the basics of my business. This is a question I get a lot, is about the financials and things like that. A lot of guys and gals are wondering, how much things cost and, what should I focus my money on and things like that. So this is just kind of a quick little video to go over things I considered when I was starting my business and, costs for me for starting that business. To start out, hey, I'm not an accountant or a lawyer. Get with one of them for any legal advice. This isn't legal advice. This is for entertainment purposes. So, all of that out of the way, let's hop into it. First thing I'm going to talk about today is tools. Tools are the lifeblood of our entire business. You want to get really good tools, and you want to get tools that will last you for your business or as long as possible without having to buy new ones. When you're just starting out, what you need really depends on what you do. This is a question that a lot of people have asked, with a handyman, there's so many things that I'm going to have to do. How do I afford the tools starting out? And the easy answer is pick a simple specialty. You should not be doing everything when you first start out. You should only be doing things that A, you're comfortable with, and B, that you have tools for. And so you should be deciding before you ever start advertising for a customer, what type of jobs am I going to do? And simple jobs that I started out doing are painting, door installs, outlets, if they're allowed in your state, there are in mine, fascia, simple blinds, stuff like that. Painting was one of the first things that I started, if not the first thing. I also did IKEA assemblies, things like that. Door installs were a little more complicated. I needed more tools, but I was able to get good tools, decent tools to do all of these things. So depending on your budget, you should be getting the best tools you can afford. A good example of that is if you're painting, grab yourself, a $20 paint kit that comes with the roller, a couple brushes, the pan tray, and start out with that. But spend $40 on a good edger to do all the cut-ins on the walls and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to pick up those inexpensive, non-critical tools. If it's something that doesn't really matter, like I'll probably get blasted, but flathead screwdriver, if you're doing outlets, if you're putting in GFCI outlets, you can get the inexpensive version of the screwdriver that has, the interchangeable 9-in-1 heads and all that. You don't have to get the great latest and greatest screwdriver for that, But on the flip side of that, if you're doing outlets, you need to spend extra money and get your tester. Get a very good quality, proven name brand tester to see if the outlet is still live or not. Because don't want to get electrocuted and die. You want to get those critical tools you want to spend the money on for sure. Now, a couple of tips. We already talked about this a little bit. Your simple specialty should not require expensive tools. Let's take painting. If you're going to start out in painting, start out using a brush and roller. Don't start out where you need to use a paint sprayer. Don't do exteriors where you have to have a paint sprayer. Don't start out trying to do new rentals where they're wanting you to go in and paint an entire 3-bedroom, 2-bath rental, and they want you to spray the whole thing and everything else. Just avoid that. Pass on that job, walk away, and find the job that wants 1 or 2 rooms with an accent wall where you can just roll it and brush it. If it's requiring a specialty tool or to buy an expensive tool, just pass on it. There's so much work out there, guys, that you don't have to sit there and take these jobs that are stretching A, your ability, and B, the tools required to get the job done. Also, set your hourly rate based on your local market. I did an entire video on this. Your market and your expenses will dictate how much you charge the customer. At the end of the day, you need to make enough money so that you can pay Uncle Sam, you can pay the business, meaning have money in the business to pay business bills, and to pay yourself for personal stuff like groceries and things like that. If you're not doing that, you need to do that, and that's why you need an accountant to help you decide on that. Do research around the area, find out what the locals are charging, and figure out your expenses and charge what you're worth. Bid on jobs that get you money that don't require a lot of work. What I mean by this is if you're going in a rental place, let's use a rental apartment property, they want you to come in and paint the whole place, hang 7 new doors, change out all the trim, change out the sink, change out the garbage disposal, fix the dishwasher, pass, or just do 1 or 2 things, fix the dishwasher, whatever you're comfortable with, and get paid for that and get out. Do half day and full day jobs only. Don't be doing 2, 3, 4 day jobs. You should be doing jobs that are a few hours to a day that you can get in, get done, get money, get out. That way you're building up fluidity in your cash. Cash flow is so important in this business. It allows you to feed your family and also get those tools that you need to expand what you're capable of doing. So if you are tying up a lot of time and effort into big jobs, you're going to A, underbid those, and B, you're not going to get paid as well, and you're passing opportunities up. I cannot tell you the amount of times I took on a job where I was painting the interior of a house, and I received a couple calls, during the few days I was doing that or week I was doing it, depending on the size of the house, and they were smaller jobs that would have paid me better per hour if I was available to do them. So opportunity cost is a big thing. Definitely research that. First jobs, kind of going off that, should be less than $200 to $300. Time is money, and you need to be only getting paid or only doing jobs that are a couple hours to a day or less. That should be a few $100 or less. When I was starting out, my target was to get paid $150 a day. Of course, things change. That's no longer my target, but that was my target at the time. And honestly, when I was starting out, hitting that target, taught me a lot. It taught me how about marketing. It taught me about cash flow and things like that. And it gave me the confidence to take on bigger and more lucrative jobs. Another tip is customers pay for all of the materials before you start doing a drywall patch. You can go down to Home Depot, get all the materials, take them to the pro desk. The pro desk will call the customer. The customer will pay for them over the phone. It's as easy as that. I've had friends who are also in the industry who felt weird asking for customers to pay for stuff up front. I don't understand that. It's not your project. It's not your home you're working on. So why are you footing the bill for the materials? Make sure the customer pays for those. Next is always get a deposit. You should not be working without a deposit. The deposit isn't to buy materials. The deposit is to A, secure the customer's space in your schedule, meaning if a customer schedules me for this Friday, there's other customers calling me. So I need a deposit so that I can make sure that that spot is held for that customer. Otherwise, if they're not willing to pay me, I'm going to go with the customer that will. A deposit simply makes it real to the customer, and it lets you know that the customer's legit and serious about getting the work done. Always get a deposit. The industry standard from my research has been 25%. I never go above 25%. 25% for me is a comfortable percentage because I get my customers to pay for all materials. I don't have to worry about spending that deposit on buying materials and maybe having to pay out of pocket if the materials are more than that. Also, into getting paid, you get paid at completion. No arguments. It's net zero. There should never be a time that you're doing net 7, net 14, net 30. Once you are further down the line and you're a contractor, you're allowed to do commercial work. If you want to expand your business to do that, of course, that's your call, your business. But when you're just starting out, that should not even be a question. And that should be in your estimate that they have signed for you before you've started that says net zero paid upon completion. I've never really had to chase customers to get paid. I think I had 2 instances where I had to wait a while. It it was not fun, and it's not something I will ever repeat. Customers pay me when I finish. We're handymen. We're doing smaller jobs. We're not doing a $20,000 job. We're not doing a kitchen remodel. We're not doing insurance claims and all this other stuff. We're doing small jobs that should be paid immediately. Let's talk about getting paid. Receiving that check from the customer feels really good. Your check is your payday. You have to think, though, you're now a business owner. The person you're working for is yourself. There's no one taking out for taxes and all that stuff. You have to do that. So let's use round numbers. If you get paid $600, you did not earn $600. You should be pricing your stuff, your hourly wage, so that you're able to pay Uncle Sam, your business, and yourself. So of that 600, Uncle Sam gets a portion. Portion stays in the business, to pay your bills, and then a portion of that goes to you. So if we look at, I'll again use round numbers. If you're getting paid $60 an hour, the way I do it is I made a plan with my accountant. And, we decided, hey, what are my expenses? Things like that. What's Uncle Sam going to say he's owed? And then I just follow the plan. And my plan is very simple. Your plan will be different, but I'll just give you an example. This is my plan. I pay in thirds. Like mine is based on thirds. Of course, Uncle Sam doesn't get exactly 33%. It's a different percentage than that. But this allows me to have more money in the account than less money. I would rather over-prepare to pay Uncle Sam than under-prepare. So I just simplify my stuff. I like it to be simple. So if I'm charging $60 an hour, I automatically know $20 goes to Uncle Sam, $20 stays in the business, and $20 is for me. So people will say, "Oh, you're getting $60 an hour. That's fantastic." And it's like, I'm actually getting $20 an hour because that's for me personally. The business has to get paid, and so does Uncle Sam. So third goes to Uncle Sam, third goes to business, and third goes to me. I have separate accounts for all of these, and I transfer them immediately. And we'll get into the next point with that. Money talks. And when you're starting out, you set up your business, your logo, your name, your phone number, estimates, and a bank account. You also set up whether you're an LLC or sole proprietor, and your tax bracket will probably change based on that and what you set up with your accountant or attorney. So if you don't have one or both of those, I know it's just starting out, money's tight. 1 hour consultation is almost always free, and then you pretty much just pay ahead of time. So you'll go in and say, hey, I need a 30-minute session. You pay them whatever it is, and then you get 30 minutes to ask questions. Use that time wisely. You should be writing down your questions before you ever step in that office. And then as soon as they say, okay, time starts, you are all business at that point. No talking about the weather, sports, all these dumb things. Do that before or after. When they, ask them, hey, when does our session start? And then as soon as it starts, you need to get on asking those questions and writing down the answers. You can even, most of the time, you can record them. You can say, hey, I'm really bad at writing stuff down. I'm going to use my phone and just record our conversation. Is that cool? I haven't run into somebody that said no. If they say no, you probably should look for another attorney or accountant. With that, kind of the basic is you need to have a separate business account with attached savings for taxes. This is kind of a universal truth. I doubt you're going to find an accountant or a lawyer that says differently. It's really easy to get your DBA. You're doing business as, go and open an account, and then get that attached savings. That way you can just transfer your money right over for that. A big thing, and it's all in caps for a reason. Don't ever use your business account for personal, and never use your personal account for business. You should be paying your business deductions out of your business account. Cell phone, insurance, gas, all of that stuff should be coming out of your business account. And your personal account should be paying for, your groceries, your food, things like that that are personal and not business. With that, I'll leave it at that, guys. Please like and subscribe. I really would like to grow this channel. If you have questions, let me know. And if you want to see a particular video, let me know. Also, Give a thumbs up and let me know how the new mic and the new setup works out. I'm really curious what you guys think. I'm trying to make the channel more professional and look nicer, so let me know, and we'll talk to you later.